Hello and happy Monday, everybody. We have a new release only an hour ago and already running in cloud.prowler.com, and that is 5.5.0. And as you'll see, the headline item is we now support social logon. So that was me immediately creating a new account with my GitHub credentials by authenticating with GitHub. Google is also supported out of the box, and the release notes say that a number of other IDP identity providers will be coming in short order. So that's a big item that you'll notice when you sign up. And then obviously once you have an account, you can invite other people via email, etc., etc., as you would normally. Another thing down by the version, we also now have a status tracking for all of our system components. And so that is at status.prowler.com, or it's linked down at the version number within cloud.prowler.com, which is cool. And then, yep, there we see more identity providers soon, and also integration with org level. So if you're running SSO, we're going to support a number of key players there. Finally, muted finding support. So this is the start of supporting the full featured, if you use mute lists and things like that within the CLI, this is the start to support the full mute compatibility in the UI in Prowler v5, which is very, very cool. And then other items, we have 17 new 365 checks. This is Microsoft Office related, Office 365. So these are still SDK and CLI checks. We've not surfaced Office 365 into the UI yet. So if we look at 5.4 on the CLI, for example, we can see there were only 10 checks, and 5.5 will have, 27 because we have 17 new checks. So you can check that on your version by using the Prowler CLI, going Prowler, Microsoft 365, and then listing the checks, which let's just do that now. So list checks, or -L right there. So, and that will show I'm on 543 here. You see we have 10 available checks. So lots of new 365 checks, and expect those to hit the UI in future versions. So I'll sign back into a non-brand new account where we've actually got some data. And a couple of other things you will notice is we've made the download of the CSV and HTML output formats a lot more obvious on the scan pages. I know that a couple of people in our Slack group, in our community Slack, have asked kind of how they find that. You'll remember in the 5.4 release videos, that was supported in the API, but not directly in the UI. So it's nice that you can now just click on that link and get the export files that you might be used to if you were running CLI previously. Also, another little UI tweak, if you click into the findings straight from a scan like we just have, it defaults to filtering just on failed rather than seeing everything, which I think makes a lot of sense. And then we have a bunch of new compliance frameworks supported as well, both in the CLI and in the UI. So if we go down, we'll see PCI 4.0. There we go. Got SOC 2 in there. I know there's a new Kubernetes framework somewhere. So yeah, check the release notes for more specific details, but a load of new compliance frameworks that have been asked for. And again, that's another thing that comes up quite a lot in the community Slack. If you're not in the community Slack and you want to join, go to .prowler.com/Slack, goto.prowler.com/Slack, and that will invite you into the community. Always good chats in there, people kind of suggesting features, improvements, people working on ideas for supporting whole org onboarding and things like that. So yeah, that's what you're going to notice in the UI. There's also this one-time scan feature. So if you don't want a cloud provider adding to the UI as a scheduled scan, you just want to run one scan. And to actually find out where this new option is, I'm going to dig into the pull request for this feature and have a look at the code. And so let's nothing in the notes here. Let's have a quick look at the code. Okay. Right, near test connection. Okay. So okay. So when you're going through the add new cloud provider, you can say daily or just one scan. Let's give that a try. If we go into cloud providers, cloud provider, gonna give it a fake AWS account of 12 fours. We're not actually gonna test this connection. There we go. So you can tick that and it won't build you a daily default schedule scan. It will just do a single scan, which is cool. And then we'll delete those providers again. And that gives a little roundup of changes in 5.5. Go and check it out.